has been the first Soundpost Fiddle weekend. Very, very exciting. There's been Soundpost singing weekends before, a couple of those, and this is the first Fiddle weekend. We thought we'd have a go at doing it with violins, and it's been amazing. We've had 75 odd fiddle players come up. We've got the most amazing tutors you could imagine. A whole weekend of workshops, talks, discussions, one-to-one lessons, sessions. It's just been very, very overwhelming, but an amazing thing. The standard of playing has been just incredible. All of the tutors have said the standard's been amazing. And yeah, we've had people travel from a very long way away. We've had people come from the very far bit of Suffolk. People have been driving sort of 5-6 hours to get here, which has been incredible. And all the way from we've had a few 10-year-olds all the way up to, people in their 60s and 70s, which has been amazing. It's great that we've got young people wanting to come and learn all those different styles. I think it's very, very inspirational.
I'm a violinist, but I'm classically trained, and I've been wanting to make the transition into playing folk and traditional English music. And this just seemed like the perfect opportunity, and the fact that the lineup of tutors was just incredible. I just couldn't miss it.
Brittany Hass, who's come from Nashville, one of my favourite fiddle players in the world, and we were lucky enough to have a bit of funding to pay for her flights and bring her over. So she's sort of brought old-time Appalachian fiddle style to the weekend. Jock Tildesley, who is English, but he's also brought a kind of old-time and Cajun thing to the weekend, so that's been the kind of American side of things. We've had good English representation, I guess. We've had myself, we've had John Bowden, Eliza Carthy, Nancy Kerr, Emma Sweeney, who is a Manchester Irish fiddle player. Just astonishing, I'd never met her before, just incredible. Rowan Reingans is doing a Swedish fiddle tune workshop. Josie Wexler's been doing klezmer fiddle. Bryony Griffith's been playing for dancing. Miranda Rutter, who's just been awesome and taking the viola players and exploring the role of the viola in English music, and also doing her vibrations workshop where you feel the vibrations that your instrument is making. So that's been amazing. We've had Rob Harbron, who is the best, well, he's my favourite musician in the world. I love playing with him.
Super flattered to be included in a group of people like that, and thought it sounded like fun. I also I love teaching at fiddle camps. It's kind of these types of gatherings are really what got me excited about playing music when I was a kid. I went to this camp called Valley of the Moon that's run by a Scottish fiddle player, Alistair Fraser, and that was the first time that I was like, wow, I want to be a musician. This is a life that I could see myself living.
So we've got everybody here to play and involved in the workshops, but on top of that we've got this extra layer of the academic research, and that's been funded by the Arts and Humanities Research Council to look at the question of transmitting musical heritage. So we're looking at ways of teaching and learning and just appropriating traditional musics and what that means. What traditions are we teaching? Whose traditions? Who teaches them? Who's learning them? What is anybody's heritage, and how is that information being passed? So we're asking the teachers to talk to us about how they've decided to deliver their sessions. They've got an hour and a half windows to do something, and we want to know what the thought processes were behind it as well as them just doing it. And we're also asking audiences and participants to tell us what they've learned and how they've learned it and what they think is important about this weekend.
As an organiser and a teacher on the event, I mean, I'd never met Brittany Hass before, I'd never met Emma Sweeney before, I'd never really met Jock. So I've met some incredible tutors, and at the tutors concert last night there was a massive amount of mutual respect going around among the tutors at just how incredible everybody really was. But also I've met a whole bunch of people that I've taught who, teaching's all very well and good, and you're supposed to be an inspiration to them, but it doesn't work unless the people you're teaching are kind of really excited and up for learning, and the people who've come on this weekend have been incredible. So as a tutor, I think it's been one of the most exciting events I've ever, been fortunate enough to teach on, just because the people have been so up for learning and so excited by the whole thing.
Just had a fantastic time playing with a huge bunch of people. It's been great to be part of this sort of folky community that's built up in Dungworth over the weekend. The tutors have been fantastic, like really friendly and helpful, everything. Yeah, just had a great time and picked up lots of tips, especially on bowing, but also on developing like my own style, which I'm really pleased with.
You put things on paper when you're planning something like this, but you don't necessarily take into account the actual quality of the music. So I knew people were going to turn up and I knew something would happen, but I forgot how great the music would feel, you know. So that's just been huge. And I think one of the things I'll learn from it is to trust the music, because that's going to happen when people get together, and that's kind of the bit that drives it all. There's one thing that this weekend really reminds me of, and it's the kind of music setting that I grew up with. As a child, I went to music in village halls and I saw great players at really close quarters, and I think we've done a bit of that, so that's where my heart is really, so that's been great.